Live. Hey everybody, welcome to the Birdman Show. And today we have two wonderful guests on the Birdman Show. Our first guest is a great friend of mine. His name is Derek Bonner. He has this awesome book, two awesome books, but the book that we're going to talk about is called Havoc and Mayhem. His first book that he written, it was Alley Cats back in the day in the 1980s, late 80s going into the 90s. And we're ready to get Derek on the phone lines. Everybody sit back, relax, and stay tuned for this great interview on the Birdman Show with the awesome book author, Derek Bonner. Yes, everybody. We're waiting. I'm waiting for my wonderful co-host to come in the building. They dashed out to McDonald's, everybody. They should be coming in the door in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They should be coming in any minute. My beautiful co-host. We got Bunny Girl and Shake and Bake. Hey! There they go. All right. Welcome to the Birdman Show. We are live. We are live. Yes. But we can go ahead. Right, we don't want to eat in front of our listeners, but then wave to our listeners. Hey, y'all. Shake, Bake, Bunny Girl Nora, aka Desiree, and we are here. We're going to start our interview with the awesome Derek Bonner. And we got to give a big shout out to my girl Jada. She's in the studio. She'll be coming up soon. She has some great things to talk about, some awesome topics. These ladies bring so much magic to the Birdman Show. We had such a good time. Yeah. Thank you, Shake and Bake, for the reference.
You're welcome, Birdman.
I just love these ladies. Yes. All right, so we're waiting for Derek, ladies. But listen, I was talking to Jada when we were talking as we were driving up here and everything, and we want to throw this out here because we want our listeners to get kind of situated with this. And Jada asked me this question. She said, Bird, what age does the shenanigans stop with men, and do they ever grow up? So we're going to wait a minute. Somebody's calling you. That registered already. Yes. So we're going to talk about that. And our other topic of the day for Nora is, we're ready. Okay, wait a minute. Our producer said we're ready. So do we have Derek Bonner on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, D, what's going on, D?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Good. It's awesome to have you on the Birdman Show. I want you to say hello to my beautiful co-host. I want you to say hello to Desiree.
Hey, Desiree.
Hey, D.
And I want you to say hello to the beautiful Nora, a.k.a. Goldie.
Hey, Goldie, how's it going?
Hey, D. What's up?
I can't complain.
Great. Well, this is a pleasure. We're glad to have you here on the Birdman Show. Listen, we loved the story. We were reading your book. We were discussing. We had a great group conversation in the car and everything. And one thing, D, before we get into this great interview, one thing that one of my co-hosts brought to my attention, she said she went to your website and you play some awesome music.
Yeah, yes, I do. I have music on there, old school hip hop. Well, basically, the reason I did that is because when I wrote the book, I would just put some headphones on and I'd play some old school music to put me into the mood for a certain scene I was writing, and it just helped me move on with the writing. And I decided that when we put the site together, I would do something similar. So when you go onto the site, you could read some chapters and you can press a button. And as you're reading, you'll have some old school hip hop and KRS-One. My favorite MC of all time is Big Daddy Kane, a little LL Cool J, a little EPMD, old school flavor to help you put you into the mood of the 80s and all that.
Yes, because Dad, she has an ear for that. She brought that to my attention, but we want to. Yeah, she's true. 2 years old talking about she a hip hop. So listen, we want to get into the book because the ladies and I, we were reading this book, and we want to talk about first your first novel that you wrote called Alley Cats and everything like that. And before we get into that, I want you to tell the listeners, because the bird gets to blabbing. Tell everybody who you are. I introduced you because I did a pre-introduction, but I want the listeners that's live. The ladies in the studio, my awesome Jada friend who's coming up after you. Tell everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself before we go into the interview.
Sure. Okay. Well, my name is Derek Bonner. I'm from Brooklyn. Writer, reader, love to read. Basically, what can I say? I just love the 80s. I love Brooklyn, and I decided to write a novel based on what I grew up in that era. And coming up, there was a show I used to love called The Man Called Hawk. I might be dating myself right now because many people may not have heard that show, but it was a show that was set back in Brooklyn, and it's kind of like a vigilante who helped out people in the hood and took on cases. And if you had a problem, he could help you out. And it was kind of in the back of my mind when I wrote this book. And also brothers that I came up around who were in my neighborhood, the older fellas that looked out for the younger fellas, role models, and that kind of nature. So they inspired me to create this novel.
Okay. Great. So the name Havoc and Mayhem, when I heard the title, that was so catchy, and I was telling the ladies about it. How did you come up with that? Because when I hear people with a nickname Havoc and Mayhem, you know when you call them, you already know what's going to go down. Yes.
The title, I don't really have a cool story as to where the name came from. I just thought that I knew I wanted to do a story with a title that was catchy and could get people's attention. And I guess it did the same for you, Birdman, because like you said, when you heard Havoc and Mayhem, it piqued your interest.
Yes.
Just things going on and coming up in Brooklyn in the 80s, and it could be a little rough out there in those streets. And I just thought it was a cool, catchy name, and it flowed with everything.
Okay, great. Because we all came up in that era.
Yes.
All of us in the studio, so we can relate to 1988, the crack epidemic, the music. And so Havoc's name, as Nora pointed out to me, was Tommy Strong. So what is the premise? Because Nora, she likes to get into the technical things of the story. And so what was Tommy Strong? He was like was he like a modern day Shaft, or he was that guy like?
Honestly, that's a cool way to describe him. Also, I didn't want to borrow too much because I never want to be accused of biting. Okay. But I do like that. He can be considered a modern day Shaft. Basically, it's a brother from the 80s, and I came with a concept called Trouble Consulting. And basically, like, at least where I came up, you didn't, when you had a problem, 9 out of 10, you tried to handle it on your own, or we kept it within, we kept it amongst ourselves. You very seldom call the police because, back then, I don't want to, throw any shade on because, shout out to NYPD,
Yes.
But a lot of times when things happen, they weren't always as quick to come to our neighborhoods and help out until pretty much everything was already over. Or if you had a problem with somebody, a neighborhood bully or whatnot, you didn't really call the police. You either got your cousins or you got your buddies or whatever, And this guy's the kind of guy that he saw in the 80s there was a need for his services. So he figured, you know what, this could be a way to make some money. So he recruited himself out as a trouble consultant. You called him, he discussed the price, he found out what your problems were, and he handled it accordingly.
Wow. So he's kind of like not only a modern day Chef, but kind of like a Black Panther. Would you agree, ladies? Because wasn't that kind of the role of the Black Panthers, kind of, sort of? Or?
I guess you could say that.
Kind of, I'm trying to get something.
I wrote this novel back in 97, 96. Okay. So when I wrote this novel, I didn't really know about Black Panther like that, or I knew about Shaft, and like I said, A Man Called Hawk, but a lot of the things that came out now, like the Luke Cage shows and all that, I didn't really know about that stuff.
But you know what?
I wrote this, I just felt there was a need for stories like this, and I went for it. And basically what happened was my first novel, Alley Cat, a buddy of mine, he liked what I was doing, and he came aboard, and we tried to start a little book company called Books and Beats, where we would sell novels, and there were people in the neighborhood who may have talent singing, rapping, doing poetry. So we put it on a CD, and we had a soundtrack. We had a sleeve in the back of the book, and we sold those. And it was taking off. It was doing pretty well. But the thing is, I was a little young then, so I wasn't really mentally disciplined for all that responsibility of trying to start your own business. And eventually, I just didn't with it like I should have. And my buddy was like, "You sure? You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think this is for me." Life got in the way, and then years went by. I met my beautiful wife. I had a family, and I went a whole different route. And then one day I came home from work a little exhausted and complaining about my job as usual. And she said, "Well, why don't you think about getting back into writing?" And I thought, I tried it. If it was supposed to happen, it would have happened already. And she persisted, and it was coming upon our 10-year anniversary. Wow. And she said to me, because self-publishing can cost a pretty penny, because you have to get books printed. There's the whole process of getting the flyers, production, the promotions, driving all around trying to get people to hear your book, read your book, And I didn't know if our finances, could fit in with all that. But my wife said to me something that was like incredible. She said, "Well, we have this money saved up for this Las Vegas trip for our anniversary. I believe in you. I think we'll use it for that." And I was dumbstruck with that, because I was like, wow, my woman really believes in me like that. So after, we spoke and we talked it over, we decided we'd use the money that we were going to use for our anniversary trip to finance self-publishing my novel. And here we are.
Wow. Well, that's a very supportive wife.
Yeah.
My wife is incredible. All shout out, all praise due to my black beautiful queen.
Nice.
I have them all on the show all the time. So listen, Deb, did you have a question for Derek? Okay, did you know they're so excited and enthralled, because we all can relate to what you're saying. We can remember the 80s.
Yes.
We can remember the 80s. We can remember having people in the community that when something went down, that you called them.
Yeah. I want you to speak to self-publishing, because there are a lot of writers out there, and they don't know which way to go, and some of them end up tabling their dreams and their projects. Speak to self-publishing and how resilient you have to be in order to make your project happen.
Okay. Well, self-publishing, it has its highs and its lows. The thing is about self-publishing, you really have to be committed to this. Like I said, starting out, it can cost you a little bit of money, because you have to get your book published. You have to get it edited. You have to get flyers, business cards made up, and pretty much everything is on you. Whereas if you have a publishing house behind you, they take away a lot of the hassle of that. But at the same time, they get most of the money. Whereas when you're self-publishing, when you make your money, it all goes in your pocket. But I think self-publishing is probably a good way to start, to get your feet wet, because I believe that if you believe in something and you work hard at it and you stick with it, you're going to see results. So I have no doubt that sooner more than later, hopefully, God willing, that I will be, sitting at, on the opposite end of a table somewhere in somebody's publishing house looking over a deal. I know that it'll come, but I do believe self-publishing, at least for me, it's a good thing. It's just you have to be really serious about this. Like I said, I tried it in the beginning, and it was working, but you have to be disciplined, and you have to understand this is a business like anything else. It's no different than if you want to open up a store or a laundromat. You have to be committed. You have to be there for the days that people are going to want to come into your store and days that people aren't, and you have to still have that same energy every day. Same thing with book publishing, self-publishing. You have to remember, not every day somebody's going to visit your site. Not every day you're going to make a book sale. But every day you have to be online. You have to be on social media, which is a beautiful thing now with Facebook and Instagram and what else? On Twitter. See, all that wasn't out yet when I was doing this first back in the 90s. So what we had to do was do everything grassroots. Staple our chapters together. I'd stand in front of publishing houses, give out books. I mean, not books, I'm sorry. The chapters stapled together. I'd hand them out and wait for a phone call. Some days I got a phone call and some people liked it, but it wasn't for them. You go to bookstores, Barnes & Noble, and if there's any books that are similar to your writing style, you look through the sleeve of the book and see who their agent is, what company, publishing house they're affiliated with. Take down the information, send a query letter to them, and hope for the best. Whereas now, with social media, you can just sit in your pajamas and send out your chapters, your letters or whatever to a bunch of people, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah. See, your book is very intriguing, and I'm excited to have our listeners go out there and get your book. So why don't you share your Facebook information and your Instagram handles?
Okay. Well, the website itself is www.havocandmayhem.net, and that pretty much. And once you go onto that page, you'll see everything there from my Facebook page to my Instagram page to my Twitter page, because there's a column right there at the top to click to link on to everything. Like I said, my wife is amazing. She figured out how to connect everything under one umbrella. So just go to www.havocandmayhem.net and it'll link it to everything. Like I was saying, this book is not just about the action and the shaft aspect. I mean, it's also funny. It's also romantic. I try to enlighten a little bit, some things. I talk about certain things that are going on in the community that, like for instance, I know that for some reason our community still uses the N-word. I can't stand it. So that's one thing I made my character really despise. So even in dialogue and conversation with other characters, he really lets people know I'm not that. Refer to me as anything else but that. And that's just my own little stamp on certain things about how I feel about that, or about positive things I like to put in the book, and just shed a little light on things that I felt needed to be spoken on. But at the same time, there's romance in there. There's a love triangle. Yes. Then there's also a lot of heart at the end in the story, because his mom doesn't know what he's doing. I don't want to give too much away, but his mom has no idea what he's doing. He also has a little sister with special needs who he has to take, he helps take care of. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the book. It's not just your typical action book. There's a lot going on in the story.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's very 80s. So while all that's going on, I'll mention stuff like if you're a friend from the 80s, you'll appreciate stuff. I mean, just the style of clothing. I shout out how we used to dress back in the 80s with our weave jeans, our Tiger shirts, our Kangos.
Yes.
I may mention, there may be a situation where he comes in the room and the television's on and the Where's the Beef commercial is on from Wendy's from back in the 80s. I'm sure you guys remember Where's the Beef.
Yes.
Stuff like that. While, I'll put it in the background, whereas, just to really set the tone, it's really 80s.
Yes.
A matter of fact, even when we go out, my wife will come with me and I'll go out to places, appearances or whatever. I even dress 80s. I have on it. If you go onto the site, you'll see, matter of fact, just this last summer, we went down to Brooklyn, because I no longer live in Brooklyn. I moved up in Hudson Valley, but I'm still always down there. Still love my Brooklyn.
Okay.
Spike Lee had thrown a block party, as he does every year, for Michael Jackson. And we went out there. We saw it as a good idea, as a good opportunity to promote the book. So we went out there, handed out flyers, took some pictures with people, spoke to people, and I went out there dressed real 80s. I had my red Kangol on, I had my gazelles on, I had the big Dookie rope chain, I had my Adidas on, I had my Adidas suit on. I guess I'm like almost like a mascot for the book right now, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we know that the 80s was on and popping. There was no era like the 80s.
Yes. And you know what, too, D? Because when Nora was doing a little bit of research on her phone, and we want to point out this, Sheila Smith from Jersey City said, she emailed us, she said the book was relatable and real.
Yes.
She really, really enjoyed the book. We got
Nice.
a couple of emails that Nora had researched for us, and we also got a David Parker. He said, I can relate to Havoc and the lifestyle. He's from Flatbush, New York. So you know he can relate to
I
Havoc.
grew up in Flatbush. Yeah, I appreciate that.
And we have a Thelma Green. She didn't say where she was from. She said, I love your first book, Alley Cat. Will there be a sequel?
Will there?
Yeah, actually, there's going to be sequels to both. What I did was I purposely ended both novels on cliffhangers because I'm hoping that if the readers liked what they read, they'd want to continue to read more stories about them. And so definitely, actually, I'm working on putting together the story structure for the sequel to Havoc and Mayhem. It's going to be called Major Havoc.
Wow, okay.
I'm working on that. And it's funny you say that because I've been getting a lot of people who, actually one brother, he just reached out to me recently and he said to me, and it struck me. He was like, I couldn't, all through high school, I had your book and I couldn't put it down. What's up with a sequel? So just to let people know, I'm going to re-release Alley Cat, and I'm going to be working on a sequel for that as well.
Okay, Thelma Green. So he's going to do a sequel, and you know what? It was a quote. I love my ladies because they're awesome with their research. But you know what? Des pointed out this quote. She brought to my attention, and one thing you stated about this phrase, and it was truly 80s: a double Dutch bus load of good times. And I thought that was so funny that you would say that because I remember Frankie the double Dutch bus.
Yes. And coming down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And Des pointed that out, like you really stayed in the whole 80s theme with everything, as far as your language, the times, like you really can relate. When we were going through the book, we really felt that we were back in the 80s. It was like I was ready to get I was ready to get a stylist to give me like a 10-story box to come in here. We got to do a book party with you, D, and we got to really bring back the 80s.
Oh, that's definitely something in the works. I mean, once it gets to a point where enough book sales, and shout out to people because who've been buying the book. I'm getting a lot of love on that, right? Because when I ordered the books from the publishing house, I got a certain amount for my own personal use, and I'm almost sold out of those. Because some people have been wanting an autographed copy, so I pretty much I have a few left. But it's amazing to me how I've been getting requests for people who not only want the book, they want a signed autograph of the books. I've been doing double duty with that. Well, actually, my wife has because she's been taking care of that. Making sure that, first thing in the morning, after you drop the kids off to school, running to the post office and getting the books out to people. But it's really been taking off, and I'm really excited, and I'm just in awe, and a concept you had in your head, an idea you had in your head could turn into something like this, with just, sticking with it and believing in yourself.
Are you planning, I'm sorry, Nora. Are you planning a book tour, Dave?
Well, right now, yeah, definitely. I figured, the year's almost over, so I figured between now and then I'm going to work really hard, do interviews like this awesome show right here, and whatever else I can do to really get the momentum out there. And once the books have sold a certain amount, I'm definitely going to start a book tour. That's definitely that's on top of the list for next year. So definitely yes.
Okay, great.
It's been such a pleasure speaking with you, D, and I really want the listeners to go out and purchase this book. D.
Oh yeah, well by all means, go online, everybody. It's www.havocandmayhem.net. Like I said, if you go on there, it's a nice little experience. You can go on there, you can hear some music. There are videos on there of me and my wife and my best friend out there pushing books in the street. We have footage of us at the Michael Jackson Spike Lee party and other things we've done. There are pictures from back in the day up until now when I've of my first book signing when I'm in Harlem for Alley Cat. There are pictures of me with other authors like Terry McMillan on there and Walter Mosley. I've been to a few functions and it's a nice little situation on there. And of course for the sample book chapters, you can read and get a feel for what I'm trying to accomplish here.
All right.
Okay, great. Before we close out the interview, D, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to? I know you already shouted out your beautiful and supportive wife. I mean, what she did to support your vision is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I know a lot of men wish they had women.
They say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, beautiful.
All right.
How are you?
Yes. Welcome to the Birdman Show.
Thank you.
Yes. We appreciate you for relighting that flame
Yes.
to push them. I think it's very important that Afro-American men have strong women behind them to push them.
Beside them.
Yes, it's very
Exactly.
important.
Beside them.
Oh, yes.
On their hip.
Yes, exactly. Call me Mr. Polygamy. No, I'm only playing. I'm like, no,
That's another show.
Yes, okay. but listen, we appreciate. I appreciate Derek for reaching out to the Birdman Show. I want to thank my awesome program manager to make this happen. Me and Dee, we spoke extensively. I told the ladies what we were doing. As far as that, they did their research. They make sure they keep Birdman informed so this interview can go smoothly.
Right.
We hope that you enjoyed the interview, Dee and Dee's wife. We hope you really enjoyed being on the Birdman Show and give us some pearls of wisdom that I always like to leave with the listeners, and far as us too, making us better people that you could give us today.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Dee, you're still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, I said, do you and your wife, or you have some pearls of wisdom that you could leave us with, far as for us, the listeners, everybody as a whole, as a writer, as a human, as a brother, just tell us.
Well, I guess all I can say to that is believe in yourself, believe in your dream. Don't think that, your idea is silly, because let's be real. Somebody somewhere out there thought of an idea to have sharks in a tornado, and they made a movie out of it and made some money off of it. Okay, so no idea is too silly, no idea. You believe in your idea, go for it. And don't wait for anybody. I mean, self-publishing, even if you're a singer, an actor, go out there, do what you got to do. And trust me, you stick with it, it's going to happen.
And you know what, Dee, let me ask this, because Nora always makes a light bulb go off in my head. You know what, had we had Facebook back in the 80s, do you think it would be more successful people? Had we had Facebook?
Definitely. I think, shucks, if we had Facebook back in the day when I first was trying this, in the late 80s, early 90s, oh, please, it would have made stuff so much more easy. That's why I said people have an advantage today, whereas, you can run your whole business in your pajamas.
Yes.
I mean, as we speak right now, my wife is right next to me, and she's handling business. She's if I'm looking over her shoulder, there are people right now that have ordered some more books, and she's already forwarding invoices to them from PayPal and doing stuff. So back in the day, we couldn't have done something like this. It would have been a long, drawn-out process, and it's not as easy. So it's much easier with social media. Oh, I want to say something else real quick. And I just learned something that I'm a little saddened about. Because one of my favorite shows today, Luke Cage, got canceled. I don't know if you guys know about that, if you watched that, or really love that show, and it was a positive show, because I love that show and also love Black Lightning as well as the Black Panther movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm hoping they bring it back. But what I do want to say is, in the meantime, we got to support, shows like this, like Luke Cage, like Black Panther, like Black Lightning, and anything else that's up and coming. My book, artists, we have to support our own, But if we don't give them the numbers they're looking for, they're not going to give us a second chance. Whereas other shows, if the ratings are low, they'll go back and revamp it, reboot it, and try another alternative way to make it work. But with us, it's like they'll give us that opportunity because they almost have to. But if we don't show and prove what they feel that we should be doing, it's over. And I just found out that Luke Cage got canceled, and I was like, oh man, I really like that show, because my sons and I would watch it sometimes, and it was pretty cool. And they love the fact to see, a Black man, looking out for the community and handling his business. And now the show is going, so we have to support each other.
Yes.
Yes, D, it was an awesome pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
definitely,
on the
brother.
Birdman Show.
Definitely,
You have to come on again, but this time we want you live in the studio. But we were glad because I want the listeners to see you, and I also another thing, D, I want you to connect with my program manager because I want him to tag this video to you so you're able to have this on your page. And so your viewers and your following can also see that you were on the Birdman Show. Promote us, promote our station. And
oh yes,
I hope you had a wonderful time on the Birdman Show. We don't want to hold you
I had
up.
a great time. I mean, people don't go behind the scenes. I was telling you, I recently had knee surgery, or we would have come out there and done this live.
Yes.
But I definitely want to do something like this in the future, and I definitely would love to come out there and be live and hang out. That'd be awesome.
Or you know what? Two of my awesome program manager and my lovely co-host and friend. Maybe we could come on location and come to New York, 80s style, and we could spotlight you on location. You know,
that'd be great.
We could really take it back to the 80s. So that's
That'd
like
be really great.
you know.
We already made a few connections with some bookstores in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And once things really start turning around, you know, I'm possibly going to be doing a book. You know, when I find out, you know, I want to put too much out there, but I would definitely give you guys a shout out when, you know, something like that comes around. And
No problem.
I would love that.
All right.
Yes.
We look forward to it.
We do. We really do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the awesome that it is. He's still here. The awesome Derek Bonner. He wrote two awesome novels. Ollie Cat.
AKA Shirley, son.
AKA Shirley Son.
Okay, AKA Shirley's son. Okay, and he wrote Mayhem and Havoc.
Alley Cat.
And Alley Cat.
And Alley Cat.
And Alley Cat. And he was our also spotlighted book author today on the Birdman Show. Please hit us up. Please give us your comments, your criticisms, great show ideas, and please go to Derek's page. D, give your information one more time before we let you go, so they can come to your page and see your awesome book and the awesome things that you do.
Okay, no problem. Once again, everybody, please support me. Something positive here. I really think you're going to like this. Go on right now, HAVOCMAYHEM.net, havocandmayhem.net, and on there you can have a link to my Facebook page, which is it's DAB, or my Instagram page or my Twitter page. And like I said, there's music on there, there are videos on there, there are chapter samples on there. There are all kind of ways you can buy the book. You can order it from Amazon.com. You can order it from Book Babies, who the publishers I use for my book. Or one more thing, you can also if you want, because some people have been doing this, you can send a direct link to me if you would like an autographed copy, but you need to hurry fast because I'm literally down to maybe 7 books, and I had a bunch of books when I first started this, and people have been asking me for an autographed copy. So if that's something you want,
make sure you send us an autographed copy,
me, and I got you.
Before you run out, you gotta send us one so we can post it up on the page so we have our autographed copy.
I got you.
Yes, but
that sounds beautiful. It sounds like you're on your way to a publisher picking you up if people keep purchasing that book. And
Please
that's
do.
what we want people to do, to keep
Hey, the holidays are coming. It'll be a nice stocking stuffer.
yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
You know something real quick. A friend of mine just happened to be on the bus maybe 2 weeks ago, and happened to look over and just saw a brother reading one of my books.
Oh, we saw that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it took me a picture,
Yes.
and then he took a picture of him on the low and sent it to me, and I was like, well, I don't even know who this brother is, but it's an eloquent, handsome brother with a baldy, and he's sitting on the bus, and he looked like he had his headphones on, and he looked like he was really caught up into the novel. So I just want to thank that man. I don't know who you are, sir, but thank you. Thank everybody who's bought books. Thank everybody who's going to buy books. Thank you, Birdman and the ladies, for having me on your show, and thank everybody. I appreciate the love.
Yes, yes. Okay, D, listen, hit me up, be in touch, and listen, when this book becomes a play, you know I want a part in it.
Oh man, you say I do not forget anybody, man.
Okay, movie. But
that's why I made my characters. That's why I made my main character so loyal, because it's part of who I am. Very loyalty is the key.
Yes, D.
That's beautiful.
Yes, D. But we're gonna let you go because we got a little flow going on. We're gonna get to our next guest, but it was a pleasure, D. I'm gonna hit you up after the show. Let me know how you loved everything. Get the information from the program manager so you can get it.
Okay, you want me to stay online? Are you going to call me back or reach
we will definitely call you back because we're going to make sure you get this interview tagged to your page so everyone who didn't get a chance to see it can see it.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I guess I'll stand by and wait for you guys. But until then, it was a pleasure, and I look forward to more interviews and hanging out with you guys again. And I like to do it first, in face to face in the future.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right, yes.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, we give a shout out to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn in the house. Brooklyn in the house.
All right, everybody, take care. I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, take care.
God bless.
All right.
I was already there. I told you I didn't have the phone. I was already gone. All right, Cindy. I'm working right now, Cindy.
So
You too. Your mother.
We have the awesome, the beautiful, the vivacious. Oh, the comedian. He's a comedian. We have Jada. Jada's in the studio, and when I talk about my friend Jada, everybody. I'll get a chair. Let me move this so I can get a chair for Jada. When we talk about Jada, Jada is the epitome of everything you want to see.
Yes, working them fishnet stockings too.
Yeah. Look, I have to go through the drive-thru in the morning.
I want to let's see, Daz. How can we arrange this?
I know we're production
there at the
studio.
corner.
Where can we place Jada so we can get
At the corner.
Where do you want it?
Well, yeah, Jada can be at the end, so
That
when
was
we
a trick
can,
question.
when we. So let's sit down. Yeah, you didn't have to move down. Yes.
You want to move the mic?
Yeah, put your chin.
Wait, yeah, come sit over here so they can see your beautiful face, Jada. And let's get these beautiful, beautiful co-hosts here. Yeah, let's there you
Get
go.
tight, get
Yes,
tight.
let's
We love
wanna
each
get
other.
you in. Yes.
Let's swing around now. Swing around, honey.
Yep.
Thick thighs don't lie.
All right. Yeah. Because I was going to be a vegetarian and eat those leaves.
I hope not.
No, now.
So we have in the studio, she's an awesome friend. I had her on the Birdman show before, the beautiful, beautiful Jada.
Hello.
Jada's here,
Yes.
and as you met earlier, the beautiful Nora, aka Goldie.
Goldie.
The beautiful
Jada.
Desiree, aka Shaky Babe. So our topic, everybody, for today, we want you guys to really chime in and because we're going to get deep. Jada, she has a little happy cocktail. We might have a little happy hour on the Birdman show as well. But our first topic, and
Yes.
Jada is very confidential. Jada's going through, she told me, a change in her life. She's doing a lot of life changing. She's gotten to a crossroads. I'm going to let you tell a little bit about that, Jada. But before we get into that, this is the topic, and I want you ladies to chime into this. What gender is more confidential when it comes to doing their dirt?
I believe women. I think we're more confidential.
You really think so?
I believe women are more confidential because when we get to a certain point, we trust brick walls. So we might got 3 women and we can spill it all too, but once that comes out, it ain't going no more. Like if I'm talking to them too, it ain't passing them. So we're more confidential.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Well, why do you hear women say women can't be friends with each other and you don't tell her too much and don't say this and don't say that? Why do they?
Well, that's because, like Jada said, once we get to a certain point,
Okay.
there's certain people that we disclose the information to, and we can trust them to not spill the beans.
Right.
Okay, so when we hear these songs or these different things where they say, well, my best girlfriend took my man, or my girlfriend did this, or my cousin did that, most of the people when we're doing our dirt or go after our mates, aren't these the people we trust and we told things to?
What you don't realize is real recognize real.
Okay.
They're not 1,000% in their realness yet, so they are projecting themselves on incorrect individuals.
Okay.
So that's why you got all those shenanigans, because they're not in tune with themselves to know who they need to connect with that energy, with that lifestyle, with those characteristics.
So you're saying that men talk too much when it comes to their
I believe
dirt. You think that men tell their dirt?
Men don't know what the hell they're doing. I think that's what
I don't know what men do.
Have you ever heard any dirt on me?
Never.
Well, you're dead
Right. But I'm saying that I always was taught that men have a code of silence where you should keep your mouth closed. Right. So that's why when this topic was presented to me, like when I talked to Goldie, because she will grill me like chicken. but listen. I always thought that men are supposed to be kind of tight-lipped or don't kiss and tell, even though you can go by gender. Do you think that it has a lot to do with maturity too? But I do think that a lot of people, they would say women are more chatty with that because they maybe, I don't know, opposed to when you're single or when you're in a relationship and you say, oh girl, he's this, oh girl, he's that. Like, you know, or when you're doing dirt, period. I know, go ahead.
Listen, if you listen to the music, right?
Right.
You listen to women sing, you listen to men sing, men tell everything.
But give me an example. Give me an
They put it
example.
all out there, right?
Give me an example. Give me an example of a song where a man is, you know, and for our listeners, give me an example where a song where a man is.
You know who does that?
Tells everything.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. Honey, I downloaded his CD. Trey Songz. Oh, he's Mr. Steal Your Girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He ain't never gonna have
I like Trey.
honey, he got this one song that made me say, oh, Jesus. He was talking about where he was putting it, what he was dripping down it, and all kinds of other stuff. And I'm on the plane next to this woman trying not to cringe.
See,
Like, what?
that's
Did he
what
just
business
say? And you want to do what to her? What now?
Oh my God.
Mr.
But
Steal
see,
Your Girl.
And then there's one particular person, and I dare not say his name, but I will say that this guy made a certain woman famous because he put her business out there.
Yeah.
Really?
There's several
What?
actually I can think of.
He
Okay.
put her business out
Several.
there. They have a TV show and all that because of her
Mhm.
and her business.
So you're saying men are not confidential?
Not at all.
No.
They trophy hunters,
Yes, they are.
seekers.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them stupid enough to not realize when they got a diamond and thought they had a freaking rock.
Cubic zirconia?
I didn't even cubic zirconia.
It's a rock. She said a
rock.
rock.
I mean,
It's not gold. It's a rock.
okay. But I want to.
Fool's gold.
I want to stick with the. I always just think that men. Well, most of my friends, I think that they're pretty much in the other male in the studio. Sam, don't you agree, Sam? I mean, come help me out. I'm getting on female overload here. Like, I think that men are. I think that some men are very quiet with their dirt.
It all depends on what your virtues are and how you were raised.
Right.
If you was raised by a chatty Cathy woman, all you know is chatty Cathy men.
Okay.
That's all you know.
So how do you know when you? What are the signs of a chatty Cathy man? You know what I mean? That you know.
I don't know about men.
Right. Okay. Running your mouth is running your mouth.
Certain things.
Okay, like because you want to hear yourself talk, or are you just putting out people's business?
Both.
Okay.
I'm saying, like Nora said, men are they like trophies, right?
Right.
So if they're dealing with a certain woman, a lot of times they want the world to know that this is who they're dealing with.
Right.
So they put it out there.
But if they're creeping, I'm saying now,
If
if
they're
you're doing
creeping-
something on with your dirt,
Men are dumb. Men always getting caught.
Men
Y'all
always
out
get caught.
doing stuff with who y'all not supposed to be doing it with, and then I
Like-
think women are more.
We learn from the
Discreet.
best, baby. We learn from the best. We perfect it.
Yeah.
We just take what y'all do and perfect it. Like that's
Yeah.
not the way to do
Yeah,
it.
don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Don't do
so
that.
we know that women are the better when it comes to confidence. I mean,
Absolutely.
well, being confidential.
Confidential, yes.
But what? Well, every
Confidential, hold on, when you say confidential,
Yes.
Confidential regarding cheating or confidential regarding?
just doing,
Just-
just
yeah.
doing, yeah, just what I'm saying.
secretively.
Being secretive,
It all-
right? With any of your dirt.
Men on.
With it
See?
all.
Men are what?
You
When it
said
comes to
men.
what?
When it's just regular dirt,
Right. Not right. Yeah, not cheating.
Not-
Just regular.
just regular
Just
dirt.
regular
men
dirt.
are more secretive.
When it comes to just doing
I
regular
don't know
dirt.
about men.
Women tell more.
Right.
Women talk more. You can't wait to tell somebody, girl, did you see them fake red bottoms she had on last night?
Right.
You can't wait to call somebody and tell them that.
But I'm saying, far as when we're segueing into dirt, like.
But cheating, men will probably go.
Why is that then? If men
Yeah,
are so
men give it up.
confidential, I mean, why would that be then? Yeah, drink your,
Yeah.
drink your
Because men don't care if
yeah.
your red bottoms are real or if they fake.
Listen, and men are also ignorant with their mannerisms. You gonna tell on yourself.
But,
Absolutely.
like, in what? That's what I'm saying. In what way? When you don't fit the role, if you don't fit the bill, when we're making a broad statement, ladies, or we can if we're doing a statistic, we can say 99.9% men are very sloppy and they will get caught
Yes,
because they
yes.
cheat.
Yes.
Yes.
But what about the percentage who doesn't? Like every Afro-American man or just men, period, they're sloppy when it comes to doing dirt.
You know what happens when a man gets caught because he changes
His pattern.
They can see
Mhm,
the consistency. You did it every day. You come on at 7:00 every day. But now for the past few weeks, it's
Exactly.
7:17.
You wear cologne
Exactly.
now. You wasn't wearing cologne before.
Exactly.
Now every day you're
But-
putting on cologne.
Now you
again.
want to wear
But then-
outside and stuff.
Exactly.
But listen, but what if? Okay, what if it isn't a change? How can you be accurate? Like, is he really cheating?
Your women's intuition.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we
We
know.
know.
You-
We
we
know.
smell it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Immediately we
Yeah.
know. We may not say anything right away because we're just waiting
to figure
to put it all together,
Right.
but we know.
Yeah.
So they're
He
not.
said, yeah,
They're
know.
not.
Right here in the gut.
But then
Mhm.
Sam said men are quiet and confidential.
When
But that's what I'm saying with the dirt. Like they say, you take things.
If me and you go out and we steal something out, I'm not saying steal.
Right, I know what you mean.
I'm not going to tell nobody
Right.
we enjoy when stealing.
Right.
But if me and you together and I mess with his sister and his mother and his girl, I gotta tell somebody. I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna keep it to myself.
But
And then you got to
but
trust
then
that
but
person.
then that's crazy. Like if I got this is how I operate. If I got something going on with somebody, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm going to be quiet.
Well,
You see
that's
what
why
I'm
we ain't never heard nothing about your
Exactly.
ass.
Right. That's what I'm
you
saying.
live by
So
a different code.
Right, but I'm saying
They
so
don't
that's
make
why
it
I'm
no
trying
more.
to I'm trying to understand like these ladies and we have very real conversations.
Well,
And
why
no-
you keep your little thoughts so secretive?
Well, I don't have no thoughts. I'll keep them so secretive. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. I'm very and shake it back, you know. I'm very upfront and I'm very honest. But I'm saying when y'all say being sloppy or cheating, I think you should be for real from the door. Then you don't have to play the game.
Right, but they don't make you
Right.
anymore.
But-
you are a different model type.
Right.
Yeah,
I
you're
get the-
discontinued and have been since the double Dutch butt.
But but I thank you for the compliment. But so when I want to give my friends advice like this, and I'll say this like when I'll say, listen, my buddy Jada, and me and Jada, and people would say, well, is Jada for real? Is she a real person? Remember I was telling
Yeah.
they thought I was making and I'm being real, they thought I was making Jada up. And I was like, no, Jada is a real. Yeah, they know it.
Yeah.
Right. I said
And you
Jada
see
is
her
a
jumping
real.
out the Jeep and her fishnets at 10
Yeah.
coming from her own house and not his house.
and people really thought Jada was a fictitious character. So I was telling them, no, Jada is a real person, but like I said, like my friends are very laid back, mature, and very discreet
We are very
people.
discreet. We are.
And they don't act like that. You know, I don't. My friends are not Shaquaka, where she was like, tell everybody because I want them to know. Not that it's anything bad, but I just was kind of like, wow.
I
People,
hope there's no Shaquanka out there.
you know it is, though.
You know it is.
You know it is.
She-
But-
They wasn't talking about you, girl.
But listen. In saying this, what Jada told me and we told Sam, we're going to piggyback off of this. She said, at what age does men, since we're doing the men thing, and I'll take the weight that do men stop their shenanigans?
I would really like to know that.
But this is what I.
Any men out there want to chime in and tell
Yeah,
us
or
what
hit us-
age
I
you
would
stopped?
I would really like to know.
But
Yeah.
give and far as a shenanigan.
And ladies, if you know, tell
Tell
us.
us, but
Yeah.
but a shenanigan like what, Jada? Like him being arrogant or
No,
what is? Give me a definition for people.
Right. Well, like you said, I did change my life. So I was married for 17 years. I've now been divorced for 4. So I got married and all that other stuff in the 90s. So I am not aware of, this generation of men that they say one thing and do something else. Or they put their time, their energy, and their money into this foundation. But as soon as you say, all right, I'm gonna give you a chance, you blow up your own stuff. Like I've never met, listen, there was a gentleman and he flew me clean cross to the Bahamas. I got diamonds, I got pearls. This mofo spent like 10 grand in a week. We get to the Bahamas and within 24 hours, his colors come out to the point where I had my own vacation and he had his own vacation.
Wow.
Yeah, honey, because you tried it. But you tried it.
But wait a minute. Let me ask this, and always like, but did you didn't let him into the promised land?
Wait a minute. It wasn't the promised land, but it was the land of the lost.
Okay, because do you think sometime that the whining and dining is to get to the promised land, and after they get to the promised land, then it's like
I believe so. I don't understand that, but I'm not willing to build a foundation of that much extravagance and that much like time, energy, and money for me to just blow it up.
So you think that his shenanigan was he did all of that to get to the promised land?
I have no idea, honey.
I mean,
He ain't get to the
listeners,
promised
let
land.
us know
Yeah,
that.
I'm confused. That's why I asked. When
Do
did
you
the
think
shenanigans stop?
shenanigans are built to get to the promised land?
Oh, definitely.
But then when you get there, then what do? Just keep starting little kingdoms all over
It's
the place?
the trophy, honey.
But
It's
okay,
the trophy.
but how do a trophy? But a trophy is supposed to be admired
Men are
and whatever.
conquerors. Here's the thing: men
Right.
are conquerors.
Okay.
Men are hunters, gatherers. That's what they do.
Right.
So unfortunately, and this is just my opinion on the matter, and what you're saying right now is that men will do all of these things to hunt. Right? They'll
Right.
get the hunt.
Well,
they'll catch the prey.
trying-
they'll get what they want, and then it's like, oh, I've conquered.
Now move on. But I'm
No,
saying,
no,
do you think
hunt
that
something
that's what this guy was doing to Jada?
Oh, I don't
No.
Do
He
you
tried it.
Right.
He did.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Tried it.
I'm saying that's what. Do you think that now that you're thinking back, that's what he was doing?
I have no idea, but this mofo, he chased me for a year and a half via email because he didn't have my phone number.
Well, he might he really, he
But
might be a
it's-
real
right.
nice guy. You didn't give him a chance.
But
You know what?
He did all of that.
It was a lot, and when we got over to paradise, he didn't make it to the promised land. He didn't make it nowhere because within 24 hours, honey, listen, all my handcuffs and all my other stuff was all packed in the bag, and I made sure before we left.
So what did he
accidentally
do when you got there? What did he do to?
You know
turn
what?
you off.
He is nothing without his money, and I didn't realize that. So he makes a really good living. So I mean, he might be pulling anywhere between 15, 20 grand a month. So long story short, he put all of his money into this Amex thing because with American Express, your perks are exponential.
Right.
But you in the Bahamas, baby, everybody don't take American Express. So now he's like having this hissy fit because his liquid money didn't come into the next day. So now you gotta depend on what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, I got you, but I got my own. So we can go get this.
So
No.
So maybe that's what it was.
Right.
It was his pride, and not because he was being mean to you. He felt as though I'm a provider, and now that I can't provide, I feel bad.
I'm gonna do what? Jump up and down and hike up my diaper?
Right.
I mean, what?
You ain't getting me.
So what was
yeah,
what
I
was the alternative to this vacation?
Right.
Like how could he have resolved it?
You know
He
what?
didn't see a way to, or what?
All I could say is I only know how to be a partner. So
Right.
whatever my man is lacking, I'm right over his shoulder. So if you ain't got it, I got it. And even if that's only a 0.11% chance, I don't know. Not jumping up and down though, honey, because it was just like, oh.
So are you still in touch now?
Hell to the kneesy, honey. You out your mind.
How long
No.
was the vacation?
It was like 5 days. It was beautiful. I met all kinds of people, just not with him. And we still slept in the same bed, king size. And you know me, I'm a G. So I was, excuse my French, but I was butt ass naked, glued up, had my Gucci favors on with my ankle socks on. But you was on one side and I was on the other side.
Wow.
The whole time. And every day he come in like, damn it. No, you ain't getting in this promised land, boo. You stupid. You tried.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was fun. Good times. Jada's gonna have to write another book, I see.
Yeah, I see Jay.
Because y'all miles dropping, it got
I know,
Whoa.
I was looking like Jay. And I told
I'm
everybody Jay is a
confused, but you gonna have to tell us more when
I'm
we
not-
not on
yeah.
camera.
Right.
And you know,
Honey,
But
you know,
Jay,
I need the meat.
she need the
Honey,
meat and
I'm
potatoes.
just telling you,
Right.
it wasn't a sex thing because we
Right.
were, because again, men are, they're conquered.
But why do you
didn't do
say
that.
men are conquerors? Because if they love you after they get to the promised
that's
land,
what
if they're still with you, then it was not all about
But that's why I'm
conquering.
asking you, when does the shenanigans stop? So
But
you
see, I'm not a
always-
shenanigan doer. Like when I deal with y'all, you know I don't do shenanigans.
I know, but
Sam,
that's why
you a
it's so
shenanigan
different.
doer. Can you give us
Sam,
some
do you do
insight?
Right. Sam, they said, are you a shenanigan doer? I don't think Sam is a shenanigan doer either.
I work hard for mine. So if I'm going to give you something, it's because I feel like we're working towards something.
Right.
I'm not going to keep throwing out bait. And when I finally get the catch that I want, be like, ha, I was playing, and throw it back. Who does that?
Right. And that's a shenanigan.
And that's shenanigans. I
Right.
don't understand them.
But
You know,
ahead.
a guy said to me that there comes a certain point where a man becomes scared.
Okay.
He gets scared.
I think you made him afraid.
You scared him, honey.
I
Yes.
don't know. Well, listen,
Yes.
I met another gentleman and he was 53 years old. And, we did this whole thing and it was weird.
But this is what we're gonna do. People call in for Jada. Jada said, when do men stop their shenanigans?
What
And
age?
call in. Studio numbers 267-650-5089. Call in and
Come
talk
on,
to
Jesus, call in.
Call in and talk to Jada.
Right,
Call in and talk to
don't get
Jada. But
too-
I don't think men, the shenanigans, what should it be like? What, 35, 40 shenanigans should stop?
I don't know, because that one was 40,
Something.
41. The last one was 53. So it's like, and he
So
was a man from Chicago, and I'm thinking.
And these are Afro-American men.
Yes, they are. And it's like, I'm confused, which is why.
But do you think our mamas have something to do with
I
that?
don't know.
I don't know.
Hand up, yes.
If you scared the man, I'm just.
You think she's scared?
How
of
did
her?
she scare him? Because he wasn't.
Listen, some women can be intimidated and men are not prepared for that. If I
So he
thought I
was
was he may have been a weak guy,
But he couldn't have been weak taking her on vacations.
he had
And
no money.
so money,
Yeah.
She was
if
on the
money's
money when he didn't have the finance.
so money makes men's self-esteem.
That's his personality.
Goes
That's
lower.
part of his personality.
But I mean,
His
she
money.
says liquid money. The money was coming in like if.
The next day, though,
right, if
he
you-
still had to do
if you
24
love-
hours
right.
with just
But he knew the
looking
money
online
was
trying to find
coming.
Amex.
It wasn't like he was.
because I can't take you out. I can't go in my pocket. I don't know you that well. I just met you. We out here and I can't be.
Oh no, I
involved.
know. Oh wait a
But
minute.
but
now.
she like
no, I
but
knew him. Now come on. Now.
but she likes
Look,
she.
I'm about to put my leg on it so she knows.
Ain't no reason.
Coming up, no. This was years in the making. That's what I'm saying. This was years in the making. I am not investing time,
Call us.
energy, and money and all of this shit. Like, okay, what I'm gonna do for her tomorrow? What I'm gonna smell like? What I'm gonna wear? He did this for 2 whole years to try to get me, honey,
But that's what I'm saying. So you didn't see those signs before that?
because he always had. Listen, you accept American Express down the street, but
Right.
in the Bahamas, the only place you doing that is
That's
Senior
his
Frost.
personality. Then if you but I'm just looking for a sign. Like if you don't see those signs,
I saw absolutely nothing. Believe me, baby, I wear glasses.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I'm sorry to the man. But
I don't.
I got a bad break.
Yeah, I don't. You think so? Do you
You think
ladies
he got
think,
a
or
bad
even
break?
listeners, you think Jada was too hard on the guy?
Hard on him. He had no money.
First of all,
Well, no, she said that she was willing to support him and that he didn't have any money for that first day.
right.
So she it's not like, oh, you don't have any money, bye, boy. No, she said, I got it.
Right, he took me to
Yeah.
lunch, but he wanted to do $100 lunch. Let me tell you, it was 2 sandwiches and 3 drinks in a plastic cup by the beach, and it was $100. Why you ain't say that was all the liquid money you had for 24 hours? We didn't have to do that. We're in the Bahamas. Give me some confish. Give me my snapper. I need some red beans and rice. And listen,
Yeah.
I'm from Philly. We
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gave
yeah.
$1.15. We used to drink cold waters and lemonade. Cold waters and lemonade.
But exactly. But then you don't want to take an upscale vacation. You don't want to take an upscale vacation and then say, if you say you're simple, then you don't want him to
For 24 hours
take it
though.
down.
I mean,
You
when
see
you
what I'm
get
saying?
your check, that's like $8,500.
right.
Right.
Come on, you're getting $8,500 every 2 weeks. What is wrong with you? You can't
But what
wait a
the-
day.
So what? I think he might have been upset because he couldn't provide for you. I won't call that a shenanigan. Things I call shenanigans are.
If you out there and you know Jada, hit us up.
But as Joey would say, they might know, but they don't know nothing about me. Yeah, they don't know my government. So they don't know nothing.
No, he was in contact with you for 2 years. Hit us up.
You
Like
know?
I want to know what happened. Talk to her. Let her make this right.
And you can't make it right now, honey. 'Cause listen,
But
I will
if
tell
he-
you, once somebody show me who they are, I believe.
But did you
them.
see?
the
But
first
wait.
time.
Did you see the post that I put up there about when people show you who they are? You read that, right, Jazz? Did you hear the follow up that I said after
No,
that?
what was that?
I said when people show you who you are, believe them, but are they capable of believing who you can be after they show you who they are?
And I just was like, okay, boo, you do you. And then the next day, of course, he checked first thing in the morning, check that account. We had breakfast plans at 8. I said, you know what, we can still be cool. Like, it's not a sex thing because we ain't doing all of that. We still cool. We can hang out. Listen, that alarm went off at 8. I sat up like, hey, this mofo was washed, dressed, and fresh to impress because he got that money in the bank. It was like, I'm going to the beach. You can join me if you want.
Wow.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Because you
Okay,
know,
so now it's coming out.
Jada do coffee in the morning and then I want to chill out. He was walking his little ass out the door. Let me tell you, Jada went shopping. I had my drinks. I had my food. I went to the executive lounge. I was chilling with pilots and people who own cruise lines and all kinds of stuff.
The brother got a bad date, man. The brother got a bad date.
Listen.
So that
brother,
are we voting that the poll is that wasn't a
So
shenanigan?
now you think you want me to chase you down
he
to the
ain't
beach?
get none.
Nope.
He got up and you all night long. He over here looking like, I ain't got no money and I ain't getting none.
He turns her off though.
I was off.
He turns her off.
Turned off.
Once you turn a woman off,
But then you set him up though. You set him
I
up.
didn't
How
set
she
him up.
set him
Listen,
up?
I bought.
Ain't no, you know
Listen,
what?
there was Appleton rum,
The
there was
man is
Coke.
laying
I
in the
hooked the
bed.
room up.
The man laying in the bed and she in the bed, all butt naked, and he didn't be like this.
Well, he shouldn't have been
he
throwing
turns
temper
her
tantrums
off.
earlier
Yeah,
than
that's
that.
more like
acting
this.
like a
Let me
child.
tell
Like
you.
this. He had a tantrum. He like,
I don't know what you talking about, but if you buck naked next to me, honey, I'm gonna make it so you want it. I'm gonna make you beg me for it. So you just don't know what you're talking about. Because that wasn't
didn't know
nothing but an
what to do.
opportunity and a challenge for me.
he had an attitude. Though. I don't know.
Listen,
Yeah,
I started with that
I'm sorry,
pinky toe. Pinky toe. Went my way over to the other piggies the other way. Laid around that bed of that angle right there, girl. Oh, I get to the point where they been like, Lord, wait a minute, what you say? Jesus Christ, I got you, baby, what you say? No, you just sitting there pouting. Listen, that's nothing but an opportunity. Like, listen, I fumbled the ball. I messed up. Let me see. That pinky toe.
I think because his plans didn't go down, I won't call that a shenanigan though, ladies. I won't call
What
that a
would you call
shenanigan.
it?
Well, you said his money didn't come through and he wanted to show you a good time. I call a shenanigan is this. Y'all got there, right?
Yeah.
Then he said, you know what? You can stay here, but I gotta leave early because my mom got sick. Or that's a shenanigan where he came up with an excuse where he had to leave. We know one thing coming from Philly, you know a game when you see it. You know a shenanigan. I don't think that was a shenanigan.
I agree with you.
I don't think that was a
So what was
shenanigan.
that? Just a
I think
temper
that he wanted to
tantrum?
show you a good time.
Okay.
That's like today. We were coming to the show. That's like me telling you to come on the show, and then I cancel, and I made you come all the way up here, and we ain't show up. And you like, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a type
But
of
again, you said we from
shenanigan.
Philly, so when you got home, I'd have been sitting on your step.
Oh yeah.
Because you'd have made my ass get up, get washed, get cute, and put on fishnets in the daytime with my little cowboy boots. Can't even go outside because it's not appropriate yet. We had a conversation on your steps.
Yeah, but you know I would never do that
I know
to
you
you.
would.
Right?
I know.
But
Oh my.
but so callers and
Yeah,
and-
I want to know.
yeah, call in 267-650-5089. Is this a shenanigan?
Right.
We have to get some information, and I have so many Facebook friends. I'm surprised nobody's calling in, especially all of my friends that love.
Sitting there with their mouth open, like,
you
she
might
said,
have-
what now?
You might have scared them, Jada.
I know. But
But
yeah,
I don't think he did shenanigans, though. I won't agree with you, Joe.
well, the other one, okay, so you're 53 years old. You do all of this, like, you know, conversation and this and that. You live in a whole nother time zone than me. So the consistency is there, the communication is always there. We finally get together and everything is everything. Whatever I said, I backed up, you did that. Now you get home and it's like, I'm gonna make her chase me now. I ain't gonna call her tonight, I ain't gonna call her in the morning. I'm gonna say what's up tomorrow afternoon.
So
What was that?
that's a
53-year-old.
Yes.
the shenanigans. So that
He might have a girlfriend or something.
but no. Let's say this because
for
let
the months,
me
yes.
stop you for 1 minute because this is a conversation that me and Des always have about telephone etiquette. we talk about that a lot.
All right, well, spit it.
So
Share it.
no, and I can't answer that because my telephone etiquette is. But I want.
He has good telephone.
Yeah, I have very good telephone
Well, you should
etiquette as far as when it's calling
Not
people
everyone
back
does.
now. When with the men with the telephone etiquette, see, I'm gonna reach out to you. Even Sam knows that. I'm gonna call you, not stalker calling, but I got great telephone etiquette. But guys who don't, that could be a shenanigan, like you said. Is that considered? Is you think he's making you chase him, or like Sam said, does he have a girlfriend? Like when a guy has bad telephone etiquette,
Well,
is
no,
there
he
something
doesn't have a
behind
girlfriend
it?
because it could be any time of the day. It's after that we done finally, after all this time of
Right.
talking and just talking, met him at a very nice restaurant here. He was here on business. He flew out the next day, trying to change the trip after he met me, and
Right,
I never saw him again. So it was months and months. But I'm telling you, we talk every night, every morning. You always texting me, checking on me. I can
And then
call
all of
you
a sudden it
at-
stops.
yeah, after we have our little whatever week or whatever, in the palm tree land, and now I don't hear. You want me to what? Wait.
So you think that means when they stop calling, that means to chase? They want you to chase them now?
That's
Or
what I'm
that?
asking. I have no.
No, well, see, because I don't have that
It's
telephone.
something missing,
That's
though.
called ghosting, right?
Is that
Ghosting.
ghosting?
They call it-
Is
Isn't that
that what that's
called
ghosting?
ghosting?
Well,
Is that what
Did you?
Yeah, that's
Just ghosting.
Isn't
Yeah.
it called ghosting?
Well, ghosting is what?
RC Blakes. Is that ghosting?
Yeah, is that ghosting, or is that the thing where it's like, all right, so
Shout
now I done said X, Y, and Z. I backed up me. I backed up you. But now I got to take my dominant role where it's like, all right, I'm gonna make her call me.
So
You
is
do
that
what you tried and I ain't doing it.
is that what it is though? I mean, see, because I don't. And Sam,
I'm tired of
You-
trying
give
to
me
figure
another-
out,
give me-
man. I don't know.
Give me somebody else then. Don't use them two guys. Give me
That's
another
me.
one.
but a lot of people do that though, Sam. Far as with a lot of telephone etiquette, you don't know how to read some telephone etiquette, which is cool. But if I'm talking to you
all the time, I got you.
and then shut it down,
Right.
then you don't.
And to me, it's like if that happens, it's like, okay, you're not interested anymore.
Anymore.
And it's
But
okay.
how do you,
Which
but
is fine.
no, but how do you know that? Because like Sam was saying, not that they have somebody
The
else.
switch up.
How do you get
But it's a switch
closure?
up.
But that's what Sam was talking about the switch up. So
But-
now,
but why
I
does-
just-
Why does that's what I'm trying to figure? I'm trying to figure out the guys that give you a solution.
I don't know.
Why would they stop it after I talk to you?
That
for-
ain't no
Listen,
solution.
listen,
It's
done.
done.
It's a wrap.
It's done.
done.
After I
Maybe
talk
it'll
to you
come back.
for 6 months straight, how can I talk to you for 6 months straight every day, then all of a sudden stop and don't call you no more
Easy.
unless I died?
Is
Or
he dead?
no, or
Did
maybe
you find out?
Or maybe he got into a relationship.
Well,
Maybe
wait.
he wasn't in a relationship.
Or with
before,
somebody
and
else
then-
in the picture.
Yeah, and now she says, shut it down. We're official now. You got to shut all that down.
He met
Yeah,
something else,
something
someone else he was
happened.
interested
Well, I
in.
don't think it was any
You
of that.
listen,
It
listen,
wasn't
you-
that. Maybe
you're
I
attractive
scared
lady.
him.
Listen to me.
Maybe
I'm being
I
honest.
scared him.
Yeah, you're an attractive young lady. You're attractive.
Thank you.
So if I don't call you, if I see you and I call you every single day,
Right.
Right.
and then when I finally get right here and I see you and I don't call you anymore, what happened? You gotta. So he just stopped altogether. He didn't call you the next week.
No.
or-
The next night it wasn't anything, and I'm granted you had to wait in the airport like a couple hours after me. Okay, that's fine. And all right, so it was no night that morning. So I did get a call that afternoon, but I'm like the night that same day, I'm like, listen, I'm used to talking to you every night. Like, what's good with you? Like, don't do that. The next night, I don't hear from you again, and then it's the next morning. So by the next afternoon, I'm like, you're done, son. Because now I believe you.
Because he
Well,
because
So I
he
have a
didn't.
question real fast. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead, Zach.
How many times did you guys see each other?
That was our first time.
That was your first
That
time
was our
seeing
first
each
time.
other. So for 6 months, you talked to each other on the phone every night.
We're
and
gonna say
then-
for good girl status, we just gonna say 6 months.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then you saw each other
Uh-huh.
and you went out, had a good time, right?
Mhm.
And then the next day is when he started calling back.
When we
after that.
got back, like when we flew back to our respective states.
So this,
And I'm about to say, because Jada don't just come out for anybody. You have to get me mentally before physical even turns on. So
Right.
it takes a lot. And I'm like Bird right here. Once we talk, I know what shelf to put you on. And it's been so many people I sat on the bottom shelf. Top shelf has been vacant for a really long time. These last two, it was nice that you could just be like, hey, listen, I got X, Y, and Z going on. I'm like, oh, that's nice. What flight you want to be on? I'm like, oh, well, this one is fine. I thought that's what you would say. Check your email. And I got my itinerary. It ain't nothing sexier than a man that know what he wants,
Mhm.
know how to court what he wants, and put it in the position
Yes.
where it can be where he needs it to be. Now, I like a
Right.
dominant man.
So was
Yes.
that last?
Right.
Yeah, it was
time
both of them.
So you know that these were dominant men.
Yes.
Something else happened then. There's something
Right.
like.
Well-
if I see you and I
She's
know
a
you,
dominant woman.
she is a very dominant woman.
So
It clashes.
that's the clash. That's what
They
But
can't
so you
handle
saying
it.
you
They
saying
couldn't
two
handle
dominant
it.
people
Not
can't be in a
necessarily.
relationship?
Well, no, I mean, because I
Only
could be,
some
I
men,
will,
rarely.
I'm
Be
very
passive.
good. Yeah, I could be submissive and passive. I mean, when the handcuffs come out, you might.
No, but
but yes, I'm different.
your personality is your personality. So that first, like I'm with you and I say, damn, she cute. She got we compatible. Everything's good.
I may have maybe, you know what, for the 53 or maybe I scared him
You-
because
it's
I
a
pulled that out the
possibility,
box
yeah.
because listen, baby was celibate for a minute and I pulled that out the box. Maybe it was like, I'm 53, I ain't gonna make it to 54 messing with her. Maybe I might want to save my lifeline and go with a lesser species.
When
It's
you,
like
when you
Elizabeth.
carrying on,
Oh, come
But-
on.
going you. I just think that it might have been something else. But like you said, I'm trying to get a solution to this telephone etiquette because this is something that we talk about a lot. And
We're talking
and
about telephone etiquette.
I
Some
wish
people don't like
What does
things.
that
I wish
mean?
it come like,
call
some
him
people
call
don't
him
if I
back.
call you, like,
Oh,
if
well,
I
you're
call you
manic.
every day. I'm not a phone call kind of
Is
person.
anybody saying
Okay.
anything?
I say what I gotta say and that's it. So he might not have had anything to say.
What?
Like, you know what I mean?
Listen, we've had conversation for 5.5 hours straight, no dead air.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. So it's switched up a little bit. So it's like, okay, the only thing I can think of is maybe I shouldn't have unleashed on you. I apologize in advance. It was a long time and you poked the bear and the bear got you.
No, he
And
had-
sometimes the hunter becomes the hunted.
Well,
Like,
do you accept her apology?
Well, we want him to call in Jada because it's like I don't know why Jada scares everybody.
I don't know why either.
I don't know why
I'm such
everybody
a-
scares Jada because
I know why.
Why? That's why we're doing the show.
I
Right.
know
Look, every
why.
time, listen, everybody, I always say I have this beautiful friend named Jada, and sometimes people don't believe that she's a real person. They think that she's fictitious, but then when they see the live person, y'all see that she's not a fictitious character. But I don't get it because she's a nice person. So are the guys, like she said, with the shenanigans, they're immature? Is she's the wrong element, because she's so positive. How does she embody all this stuff and keep attracting those type of people? Because if he's going to chase her for 2 years and he's going to do all this type of stuff, spend all this money on somebody, and then you stop calling him, I don't get that. Like, that's like we're doing the show, and all of a sudden I just don't show up no more. And they say, well, wait a minute. But how can you be a baller and have finances like that and be so power struck?
It's a lot of
But she's a human being. Then why would you be afraid and stop calling? Like, why would you be?
She ain't gonna go for the. I got.
What kind of BS do you want her to go for?
No, because you don't. After the money, you have nothing. You're shallow.
So your money is your personality.
There you go.
So now she's not gonna go for the okie doke. It gotta be something else. That means it's got to be more than you buy me dinner, because I can buy my own dinner.
Right. So she's too independent for him.
I'm just saying, it's not the independence. It's the fact that she can do it, and without you being able to do it, I still can do it. So what value do you bring to the relationship outside of finance?
So basically, he needed somebody that can't do it. That would have been like, okay, Daddy, I'm coming right now, right after you. Wait a minute, I don't even need to fix my hair, Jesus. I'm coming downstairs.
No, I don't think so.
When I said, like, some people want this woman to be here in this place and here. So you depend on me for all these things, and I dictate the pace of the relationship that way.
Okay.
So he wanted somebody a little bit weaker.
He wanted more control.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, and then if they can't, so you're saying that so with the telephone etiquette, you're saying, Sam, is when a man can't control a woman or they come off like Jada, then they stop calling her because they got to find a weaker prey, or she's too much. I got to find somebody I can control.
I don't think it's a phone etiquette, because phone etiquette means I call you today, I'm going to call you back. When you say call you back, I'm going to, you know what I mean, call you at appropriate times. I'm going to have appropriate phone conversations.
Right.
That's kind of what
mentally stimulating.
But that sets women, but that sets women off, as you were saying, like bad telephone etiquette is a pet peeve for women, right?
Yeah.
Bad telephone etiquette.
Unless they have it.
Yeah. But you have to be able to teach me something. I need to be able to learn from you. You have to be able to, right? Like, you can't be. I need a man that's going to,
and we have to be teachable too.
Yes, and I am. I'm always willing to learn, and I need you to be very confident in who you are, because my personality is very large.
Yeah.
And again, it can be 10:30 in the morning, and I want to wear fishnets and hot shorts. Wow.
I remember my our father said to me once, Nora, you have to let a man be a man.
Yeah.
You have to let a man be a man. I done taught my daughters too much. Right.
Right.
You know how to fix a toilet, change
Change
tire.
yes.
You know.
Fix chairs.
Yes.
You know, we fish, we don't hunt, but if we wanted to, we could. You know, we know how to shoot guns. You know, so like he said, although you know how to unclog the drain, let him unclog the drain.
Right. Okay.
You know, let him, give him some sense of importance here. And sometimes we don't want to dumb ourselves down. You're not dumbing yourself down and sit back and say, baby, you go ahead and you do it, because you know in your mind, let you slip. Tomorrow I'm gonna get it done. But I'm gonna give you a chance to do it. But tomorrow you still might have to give him another opportunity to fix that thing.
Well, I remember years ago, a mentor told me when I was maybe about 23 or 24, I guess he saw that in me, you know, that, well, I'll just do it. And he said, Desiree, don't be so independent that you can't be dependent.
That's right.
You have to allow a man to, you know.
But what if they
Do
say
what they
too long?
do.
What they supposed to do?
Then,
Like,
then that's on them.
like prime example, when we were away, I was like, you owe me a massage. He was like, why do I owe you a massage? So I'm like, wait, you said that wrong. You know what? You're right, counselor. I retract that statement. I would like to obtain a massage from you. So when he went, because this was also a business trip that he flew me out for, so he had meetings. I went right on massage partner and me. Uber first, it was like, well, why don't you take the car, drop me off, pick me back up, and then I'm like, no. I'll be here when you get back. And I was like, you can be all cute. I want a massage. What did I do? I went and got my massage, and I was like, I'm gonna go get my massage, boo. This is where I'm gonna be at, and this is where I need you to pick me up. Boom. When I was done, he was right out there. But he was like, damn, you sexy. You just told me you wanted that like a couple hours ago, and you there, and you in a whole nother. How did you? Because I wanted it.
So when you say he owed you a massage, it's not that you wanted him to give you a massage. You wanted him to pay for it.
No, I wanted him to give me one in the outfit that I secretly bought him.
So why'd you go get one? Then
because he didn't do it when the hell he was supposed to.
So you want what you want when you want it, Jada. Somebody said, yeah, that's right. She want what she want when she want.
That's the other shoe.
Darn.
That's the other shoe.
Is anybody saying anything, Sam?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they believe we got a handle. But you know
Last
what?
time we
Maybe
had a whole bunch of stuff going on. I don't know
maybe
what's
that's
going on.
what. Okay. But see, I will give you an opportunity. But when I feel like you ignoring that, then I'm gonna handle it myself. Now that was your perfect opportunity to get this oil, get this back in the business.
But you could have went and got your
today.
massage and didn't even tell him, honey. You could have just, I'm gonna go get my massage.
Oh no, because I
And
wanted
I'll
him
be
to
back.
pick my ass up.
See?
Or when he came back from his business meeting, you know, you do what you do.
See, that
And it was nice
independence,
though. But
I'm not
after we did, we had our little,
But
went out
she's
for a little martini.
impatient.
independent and impatient.
But I mean, I guess.
See?
That's why she's a dominatrix.
I am reading that book right now. How to be a lock and key. Yeah. The life of chastity belts. Yeah, I am reading that right now. Yeah, I didn't know men like chastity belts.
What?
What?
Look, he like, what? I didn't know either.
I sure did.
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
But listen,
we need that.
I think that Jada is like, I think that you're supposed to be. I think that she's independent, and she just has to find the right person that's compatible to her. But the shenanigans of people, I know my father always said, he said everybody got some stuff with them.
Right.
So I believe that the shenanigans, it should stop. But then if you're tolerant, when Nora said let a man be a man, your dad said that. When you're letting a man be a man, do you, like you said, dumb yourself down, become passive? And if you become passive, if you're doing that, are you not being yourself to accept something so they can feel better?
I wouldn't say
It's not a hardship
passive.
to do that.
But I also believe that the man that's for you will be able to receive you the way that you are.
Yeah,
Right.
some men don't mind if
But
you're in stilettos and know how to fix the car, because that's not their cup of tea, and they may think that that's sexy.
That is sexy.
But you have to know the man that you with,
Right.
right? So
You said you like a man that take charge. Well, you can't take charge and he take charge all at the same time on the same topic. Like you can't. It's
You're not giving him charge.
No, but when I said that massage, this was the day before, and we was right next to each other in the same damn bed. That was your cue to be like, let me just get that right.
Right,
Girl.
So why you ain't started? Why you ain't just pulling out there?
Because
Start
see, that
massaging
was
now.
me trying to stay in my lane. Like, okay, don't coax this. Let him take this. I see. I don't like it.
Are you insulting me right now?
I look right at him.
Because Bird would have been with the pinky toe back in the Bahamas. Like, oh, I can't have it. Stop telling me your
But that's why y'all schooling me, because I don't do this type of thing. But when I talk to my friends, I'm like, why do you do that? And life would be so much simpler
right.
if you just say whatever. So I'm trying to see where was I at, and where the education, this book, this playbook, this shenanigan book, I didn't read it and I don't have a copy.
I don't know. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. And I
I
don't
know.
have it either. The last time I dated was in the 90s.
Yeah,
I was
all right.
married for 20
Right.
years. So now here I am in a different freaking
World.
time zone,
Yeah.
decade, world,
Yeah.
social media. Social
Yeah.
media also
Yeah.
promotes that too, because now, usually back in the day, when you saw somebody that you got your eyes like, oh, I don't even know what he's about. Let me get it now. Because you know what? You ain't going to find him on Facebook. You ain't going to see him on Instagram. And you got to have your game right then and there. Now you got time to be like, all right, I'm gonna find her on let me take this picture and I'm gonna Google this, and all right, and now you got time to be like, all right, I can say this and that. We had to do it on the fly. We was like this. We had to. And then it wasn't like, right, and then, it was only one phone in the house, and if your mama took it off the hook, you couldn't dial out.
Yes.
So that meant that if I tell you gonna meet me at the playground, you got to meet me at the playground at a certain time. Right. You got to be there, because guess what's going to happen? You ain't got my phone number. Yes, and you ain't know. If I'm not in the house, you can't call me because my mama got the phone off. So it's just I'm not used to this this lifestyle.
It's tough. It's different. It's definitely a different world being out there.
Yeah. Well, right now,
Single,
luckily for me,
dating.
I don't have to date. I'm fine with just being me. I feel like, and this might sound weird, but I feel like in the loving marriage that I had for 20 years, I've already had my time in the sun. And I feel like it would be selfish for me to think that I would get that again.
Right.
I don't know. Because what I had was so beautiful. I would rather you experience it than me to have it twice.
It doesn't have to be
Let's
either
go,
or.
please.
I know it's
Give me,
weird.
give me,
It
give me,
has to
give
be
me.
either or.
Give me.
More better.
But you know what? If it comes to me, that would be nice. But I know it's not about what you say, and it's not about what you do. I know what it feels like.
And you can get
That's what makes it. You got guys. They if I can't measure up to you, already know what that state. You already have a standard.
right.
So now you know what I want, what I expect, and I want this. There's a picture in your mind already of what it should be.
Right.
So if this guy is here and you are used to here, he's already starting behind the finish line. You gotta.
But that's where
Meet the guy in the middle somewhere.
self-esteem and confidence and being okay with who you are come into play. Because self-esteem is with self. I can't take that from you.
Right. But some people let people take it from them.
It's not take it from them. If a guy if he doesn't know, like this is what I should do. There are unexpressed expectations. If you don't tell me up front, or because some things we just don't know. And if you don't say, if this is the way I've been walking all the time, you can say, look, I think that's a little, stop walking like that.
Oh, I'm very vocal. I'm gonna tell you what it is right up front, right now. This is what it is with me, and you can tell me what it is with you. And if we're compatible, that's fine. If not, I know what shelf to put you on. You're gonna be the dude when I just want to hang out. What's up? I'm here. You here? Come on, let's do this. You ain't gonna be anything else. So I can kind of gauge where you're gonna be. I'm a real laid back kind of person. I get along with I can get along with anybody.
You have that dominant personality, though, right? I know what that will make you.
Thank you. She's like,
No, you do. That's a good thing, though.
Right.
It's a good thing. I just think that, sometimes men can be intimidated by a dominant personality.
there are all the men that are no
unfortunately.
longer intimidated
But
by women.
we're trying to get them to call.
It's
They're not even. This is a generation of people who can be anything they want on social media now.
But I'm like,
Right,
I'm not really.
But
big
when
on
you
social
and
media.
then
when you come off of
different.
social media,
Right.
right? Exactly.
I'm
Like,
up close and personal. Like you tell me, like your
They
social
don't
media presence
You
sucks.
know.
I'm not on. I'd rather don't text me, call me.
Yeah,
Um,
like
yeah, yeah.
pen pals.
Right,
I
right.
know, pen
I'm
pal.
the girl that when you pull up, you better not beat your horn. You better not go and walk up the steps and knock on my door. I still want flowers. I still want I was raised by my grandmother, so she was my best friend. So I might have this outside, but the inside is I'm just a Southern girl.
Right. So I wouldn't say change any of those
I'm not changing
things.
nothing.
No.
No.
So-
Well, I think that men.
That's your value system.
Mhm.
You don't change your
That
value
was
system.
beautiful.
So
God,
what's our closing remarks, everybody, to the
Oh, what is our
listeners out
closing
there?
remarks?
What is?
She just gave it to you.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes,
say it
say it
again.
again.
Say it
That's your
again.
value system.
Yes, your
Change
value
it.
system.
Don't change your
Right.
value
Do not
system.
change
Don't
your
change your value system
Never.
for anyone.
Listen.
Keep that. That's
In
a part of
return,
you.
and this is what I got out of the show: return phone calls, say what you want, and don't live. Don't make the money. Don't let the money make you.
Players Club, baby.
Right. and I love the Players Club.
Players Club.
But I think that's a great thing because, like, what I was getting out of it, I think he was more upset that he couldn't provide what he needed to provide,
Yeah.
more so than a shenanigan. I think a shenanigan if you got up there and his wife called, not saying he was married, or he, something like that.
Right.
That's my
That's
definition of a shenanigan. Like he courted me all this time, and he was married, then he bring me here and the
Right.
wife pop up,
Right.
things like that.
Well, for me, closing remark is whatever's for you, nobody can take away from you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Don't sink too much energy into what ain't yours.
exactly. That's the Birdman Show. We're gonna wrap this thing up. I have the lovely
Nora,
and
Zazie,
the beautiful.
Jada.
And we're here, the Birdman Show. Tune in for the next show. We're going, I'll do a little wrap up. We had the awesome Derek Bonner. We had the beautiful Jada, Nora Desi with these great things. Tune in for more great talk from the Birdman Show.
and the next time we see you, we should have all voted. Go out and vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Do not forget, go out and vote.
Yes.
We
Yes.
need you.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
And call us, come to our pages. Let us know how you like the show.
Yes.
Hit us up. We hope Jada didn't scare our listeners away because nobody called in. But I love it.
Dominant,
Yeah.
dominant,
No,
dominant.
all right. Yes. Jada was cracking the whip. Like, nobody called in. It was like, oh my God, she's for real. There she is. But yes, hit us up. We're gonna take a nice group picture. I'm gonna get Des to take it because I keep pushing buttons and cutting us off. I never get. Yeah, so we
doing
can.
it on air.
We'll have to do it on air. We can do it later and post
Yeah, we
it.
can post it.
Yes,
Stay safe out there, guys. We
Yes,
love
please.
you.
Yes.
Stay
Oh,
safe.
and let me give a couple of shout outs too before I shout out our awesome program manager, Jam and Sam. I want to shout out my cousin, Christopher Williams. I want to shout out Tony Terry. I want to shout out John from Truth, D, all of these great people who always support the Birdman Show.
Yes.
And wait a minute, is that my song, Sam? Is going to end. Wait for love. Oh man, that is my. Yes, we're gonna do some music, but we do a lot of talking. We don't want to get distracted.
Y'all listening to that music?
Yes, wait for love.
They can't hear the song, Joey.
Uh-huh.
They can hear it.
They can hear.
Are we still on?
We still on? We are. What's going on?
All right, bye everybody.
Be safe. We love you.
Bye.